Well, hello everyone and welcome to month 8 of the Broke to BMW 12-month webinar series. My name is Shah Moore for those newcomers onto the bus, and welcome back everyone else who's been on the bus with us for the whole journey. Well done for still being here. That's the biggest part of success, is actually staying on the bus. So welcome back, and we're going to be pushing through quite a few things tonight, and we're really changing tempo and changing tone. So can I just get somebody out there just to quickly write in the chat box that the sound is coming through, because I'm currently experiencing a storm at home. So I am just wanting to make sure that you can hear me properly and everything's good to go with the sound. So someone can just put a quick, I can hear you, and we'll be good to go. Okay, I'm not getting anything through, but I'm going to hope you're all there. And it could be because of the storm that I can't see the chat. Let me just check one more time. Okay, great. Someone can hear me. Well done. Thank you. All right, so let's get stuck into it. So, guys, we've been through a fair bit, and well done for those that are still here on the journey, and welcome to everyone who's new. We have been through a fair bit on this journey so far, so I just want you guys to kind of take note and appreciate what you've actually been through so far, and how far you've actually come. So let's get started. Okay, so what we're going to cover tonight is month 8 for me on the journey, and I hope that you will do the same thing, was all about recognising small wins. And it's interesting when we do this, because sometimes we kind of link success to something major that happens in our life in a good way, and we kind of forget to stop and not just smell the roses, but kind of stop and recognise that the little things along the way that we're doing. And I noticed someone in the group just posted a small win, and you know, it's not small, it's all those little wins that build up to something big. But eventually that's what gets you to this kind of broke to BMW place, is recognising all those small things along the way. And when you look back, all those small things actually equal something quite big, and that's what actually turns your situation around. So I'm going to cover that a bit tonight, because quite often I talk to people and they say, oh, I'm not as far along as I'd like to be. And yeah, that's true for all of us, me included. I would love to be further along my journey at the moment than I am. But what we need to do, and what I want you to start doing, is look at how far you've come. How far you've come from when you started and hopped on the bus 8 months ago. How far have you come, and what have you achieved along the way? And again, it could be small things, but all of those small things, when you add them up, puts you in a much better position now than where you were 8 months ago. So please look at how far you've come, not how far you still have to go. Of course, I'm going to be talking about your why, but I do have something really special to offer you guys as well, but I'll talk to you about that in a moment. We're also going to look at the highs and lows of the journey again, because it's not easy going on this journey, and there are bumps in the road. We're going to touch a lot on mindset, and one thing you're going to notice that I do every month is I really harp on about your mindset. I harp on about visualization, vision boards, but these things are critical to moving yourself forward on this journey. Mindset is, to be honest, more than 80% of everybody I've met that's successful. When I ask them what's been the secret to their success, they say it's their mindset. So yes, you need strategies, and yes, you need business skills, and yes, you need clients and all those sorts of things, but that is not the key factor to people's success. It's mindset. So we're going to be touching on that tonight as well. And of course, you'll be getting a little bit of home play. So there's my quick disclaimer for all of you guys out there that haven't been on the webinar before. Essentially, this information is just based off my personal journey, and obviously each one of you has your own journey, your own individual situation. So these are things that have worked for me, and that's all I can base the success on. And I'm really just sharing it to kind of help you guys. Each person's result will be very different. Okay, so wow, it amazes me, you know, whilst this may seem like a simple kind of point, it amazes me when I still talk to business owners, and I've done a lot of traveling in the last week, so excuse me if I'm a bit shattered tonight. We were up in Darwin last week on Monday, Tuesday, had the event in Brisbane, and then I've been in Sydney the last 4 days. And it's interesting when I have conversations with business owners and they say they're kind of stuck on one point. And then I ask them, well, you know, who have you asked for help? Tell me what you've done to help yourself. And then I can kind of go, well, if you haven't, okay, if that hasn't worked, I might be able to think of another way. And then when I say that, they go, oh, well, I actually haven't asked anyone for help. And in that moment, I kind of pause and then go, okay, I think I know why they're not getting the help that they need, because they're not asking for it. And unfortunately, what happens, we sometimes as business owners, we feel embarrassed, sometimes ashamed, or sometimes we don't know the right question to ask, so we don't ask anything at all. And the danger of doing that is that when we don't ask somebody the question, of course they don't know how to help us. And even if you can't articulate exactly what's going on and what the problem is in your business or your life, just by starting the conversation, quite possibly the person that you're asking may have experienced or seen or heard of something similar. They may be able to help you put the pieces together of exactly what's going on, and then of course point you in the right direction. But you can be guaranteed they will not help you, because if they don't know what's going on, they can't help you. So I just want everyone to take stock of what's going on for you right now this month on the journey. What are you facing right now that you go, wow, I'm not sure how to tackle this? And that's great, because that means you're probably living outside your comfort zone, and that's where all the magic is. That's where all the growth is. So that's a great place to be. It makes you feel really uncomfortable because you don't know all the corners of it, because it's not your comfort zone. Again, great place to be. But what is it that you're facing right now that's kind of stopping you from moving forward to that next step? You sort of know where you want to go, but there's something in the middle of where you are now and where you want to go. And I want you to encourage you, and it's part of your home play, is to find a couple of people who you think may have an answer for you or may be able to guide you, and ask them. Tell them what's going on and say, hey, you know, some of you have even contacted me, which I really don't mind. I can't obviously get back to everybody, you know, in the webinar one-on-one, but certainly if I have time and it's a quick thing that I can help with, I'm absolutely happy to do that. But, you know, it's just really a quick liner to say, hey, Shara, I'm stuck with this. Do you know anyone that could help, or do you know kind of how I should get through it? And again, by asking me or the other people in the group, or your own mentor or friends, or, you know, someone else that's in business, they may have faced it. So please, please, please ask. And that's the only way we all get through things. Like I've been in conference the last 4 days, surrounded by experts, some on a massive global scale, and I just walk straight up to them and say, this is where my business is at, this is where I want to take it, I've got a few things that I'm not sure how to get around, and they are just able to give me the answers that today, just in one day of me implementing what they suggested, I've already grown my business. So, and that's just one day of implementing it. So again, don't be embarrassed to ask. Everybody that's a couple of steps ahead of you has been on the journey, and because they've nutted it out and worked it out and got success from it, they can probably tell you in a couple of, you know, short answers what you need to do to move forward, or at least guide you in the right direction. So that will eliminate frustration. And again, there's one particular person I talked to, obviously won't say who and where, but in one of the states that I was in last week, and I talked to them, and they were feeling really frustrated. And the frustration comes because you don't have the answers to the problems that you're currently facing, but the frustration literally dissipates instantly when you share and ask the question to somebody else and you share the problem with them. So that's the easiest way to get out of it. It really is important, and it literally doesn't take long to do, but you must celebrate the small wins. And I want you to look back at your diaries or your calendars or your to-do lists over the last week or couple of weeks. Even look back as far as the last 8 months that you've been on this bus, and look back at how far you've come. So if we were literally on a bus right now, walk up to the back of the bus and look out the back window and look at where we started when we left, and look at all the road that you've travelled. Look at every part of the journey and all the little things that you've done along the way that have got you to where you are now. And please celebrate them. If it's just a matter of getting your website redesigned or getting business cards or getting a logo done or getting one bill paid off, getting finding a really good accountant or finding a coach, whatever it was for you, please just recognise it and celebrate it. And by celebrate it, what I mean is give some really good energy around it, because a lot of this journey is about, and it was the same for me, it was celebrating the small wins, but giving the wins like that a really good feeling. So just acknowledging what I had done, and then literally telling myself, well done, Shah, you paid that off, or you moved that forward, or you got your logo done or something. And it might sound a bit cheesy and corny, but it really works, because when we work in our own offices and we're in this sort of small to medium business owner space, it can be quite lonely. And we don't have colleagues next door to say, hey, Julie, guess what? I just did this. And they go, oh, well done, Shah. We don't have that environment. So, yes, we can do it within our own community. And I love that some of you post the little wins that you have, because that's great. We all jump on board and like it or comment on it. And that's great, because you're getting that. But do it to yourself. Either stand in a mirror if you're brave enough and say, good on you, Shah. I'm really proud of what you just did with that. And you feel good. Remember, all of this is about energy. You shift the energy when you do things like this. So don't underestimate these principles and strategies that I used. It may seem like they're just small things that won't work, but they do work. And I'm living testament that they do work. And again, look at how far you've come, not how far you still have to go. Because the final destination, guys, let's be honest, is a box 6 foot under. So we don't want to get to our destination. We want to appreciate the journey, and the best part of life is the journey. It's not the destination. No one wants to rush and get there. So look at the journey so far and appreciate it, and don't give up. I had moments in month 8, even though I was getting small wins, but I had moments of real loss of energy where I was going, wow, oh, can I really do this? Is it just not easier just to walk away and throw my hands up? But coming back to having a really strong why, but just that energy and determination not to give up. And the small rewards that you give yourself are invaluable. And literally for me, at some points in the journey, a small reward was kind of going to coffee club and getting the muffin and coffee special and sitting down in a coffee shop spending money outside, which we couldn't do for many months. So don't underestimate how important they are, and the ambience of being out and shouting yourself a massage, or a pair of shoes or new lipstick or something like that, but it's something for you. So don't underestimate how important those things are. Visualization. Now, we've touched a lot before about vision boards and, you know, mindset and belief and all those things, but I want to talk to you briefly about visualization, because it's a process, and all of you would absolutely be familiar with this technique, and some of you may even practice it, and you might have a really great ritual that you do, which is brilliant, and I would love to hear it. So when we get to the group page after, please share it with me and everybody else what you do, so that we can learn from you. But what I used to do personally was, you know, the old saying is, if we can believe it and perceive it, we can achieve it. But I really want to talk about the believing and the achieving. And when we believe things in our own mind, as I've mentioned actually on another webinar, but I'll mention it to you guys, if we believe something to be true, it is. If we believe that something, you know, is happening to us, we make it so real that we think it's happening, that we achieve it. And it goes the same for a negative experience as it does a positive experience. So if I said to you guys right now, hey, my gosh, there's something crawling up your leg, some of you might reach down and kind of look and go, oh God, is it a spider, and freaking you out a bit. The power of that, when you do that in a visual situation and you really believe it, your mind will believe that it's true, and you will start to get shivers up and down your spine thinking that there's a spider crawling up your leg. Now, we've touched on this like way back when at the start of the journey, that if I tell you all not to think of don't think of a pink elephant with blue spots. Don't think of a pink elephant with blue spots. Please don't think of it. Your brain's already got that picture in its head right now. There's no way it hasn't. Your brain, when it's told to do something, will do something. So let it work in your favor. Make it work for your benefit. Picture the things that you do want. Picture the life that you want. Picture your children doing what you want them to do, as far as the school that you want to put them in, or extra dance classes, or the clothing you want them to wear, or the holidays you want to take, or picture all of those wonderful things and picture them really clearly, which is why the vision boards obviously help. And I really hope that you guys have done the vision boards, which was homework a few months ago. And if you haven't, kind of now's the time. Well, actually, a few months ago was the time, but now is better than nothing. Don't underestimate again how valuable and important visualization is. The more that we can train our brain to see something for real, the more it becomes real. And I can honestly say, I'm looking at my vision board now, and there were things that I put up there for Y Network, the mastermind group that I run, that I'm just looking up on the board now and realizing I can actually tick a few of those off. And I only put them up 3 months ago, and I didn't realize I'd be ticking them off so quickly. But because I kind of stare at it while I'm working without probably realizing it, when I'm on the phone, I subconsciously look up at it. I'm giving it energy, and I'm seeing it and making it real. And now I can actually tick one of them off, which is amazing. So I've just reminded myself that it really does work. And it works in your subconscious. So mindset around money as well. And we've talked about this, and I will continue to talk about it until you guys truly get it and believe it in every fibre of your being. Mindset around money is so critical. If you say, I don't have enough, I can't do that, because whilst that may be true, and it was most definitely true for me during the journey as well, but what I started to do was shift my language. Rather than saying, I can't do that because I don't have enough money, time, or whatever, I would shift my language to say, I can't allocate the funds for that at the moment. So I didn't say I didn't have it. I said, I can't allocate the funds or the time or whatever it is you want to say to that at the moment. So it didn't send a message to the universe to say, she doesn't have enough, I don't have enough, therefore I get more of what I put energy into. I get more of not having enough. It said, I can't allocate it at the moment. It doesn't tell it anything. It means I've got it in my universal bank account, but I can't allocate it to that at the moment. So I just want you to try little things like that and have a listen. Try and tune into your internal chatter. try and tune into what's going on when you get a bill or you get an unexpected phone call from someone that you forgot you owed money to, for example, or you see a statement come in. Listen to what's going on in your mind and then write down what you're thinking and then change the thought process. So if you're saying things like, oh gosh, I was hoping they didn't call because I owe them money, change it to maybe like, I'm so glad they called and reminded me. I can't allocate funds to that right now, but I'm really glad that they reminded me. Make it positive. That's just an off-the-cuff example, but look at everything that happens that would normally rock your boat and make you shift into a downward spiral and shift it up into a positive upward spiral. Success is very, very addictive. And when we celebrate the small wins, the universe loves that we feel good about that. So what it does is it gives us more wins to feel good about. And then you start to get this pattern of achieving and ticking off things on your to-do list and ticking things on your vision board, going, yep, done that, next one off the list. Success is addictive. And when you start to get that feeling of win, 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 it happens more in your life. You get addicted to it. The universe keeps giving it to you because it knows you like it. And your vision board and visualization is so powerful that the more you do it, the more you get it, the more it comes to you. Visualization also isn't just with vision boarding. I want you to try and look at how big you're thinking. So I go out onto my balcony every morning without fail, and I look out to the sky. So whatever view you can see, I used to do it from my bathroom because it was the best view out of like the neighborhood when we lived in the other house. And it doesn't matter where you go, doesn't matter what position, but just try and look out above rooftops or up in the trees or up in the sky, or if you're near water, whatever it is. But look out as far as you can look, so a really expansive view, and picture your business and your life at the biggest possible capacity that you can think. How big can you think? And then picture what it's like. How are you feeling knowing that your business is this big? How are you feeling knowing that you're helping people globally? How are you feeling knowing that you're fully booked 6 weeks ahead if you have a service-based business? How are you feeling knowing that you sold all your stock and you're out of stock because it's sold out so quickly that you need to now order? How is it feeling? Picture it. Let yourself get a visceral response, which is goosebumps or an excited feeling in your stomach. Let yourself get washed over by that feeling, because when we feel that way and truly, truly believe it, your physiology changes, the universal energy around you changes. And this is crazy, and some of you will do it and some of you won't, but I challenge you to try it a couple of times before you don't do it. So do it. Throw your hands up in the air like you've done the why. And if you've come to my events, you would have done it with me. But throw your hands up in the air like you've done the why and just shout out, yes, really loud on the top of your voice. Do it in your car, in the bedroom, wherever you want, out on the balcony. Let your neighbours think you're nuts like mine do, but do it. And picture yourself having this massive big win, and just watch and monitor what happens in your business or in your life over the next 24 hours of doing that. If you particularly do it based around one particular outcome, so if you are waiting on a client to get back to you for something, picture doing it as if they've already got back to you, and how you feel when that phone call came and they said, hey, I want to go ahead, I want to buy your product, book your service, do whatever it is you offer in your business. Picture it coming through and visualize it already happening. Again, hugely powerful. Don't underestimate it. It works. I did it this morning, and I did it on a situation. I can't kind of reveal it, but if you're on my Facebook or in my Y Network group, you'll know what it was. But I did it this morning because I knew that was the right person for this particular thing, and I felt it. I did it, and sure enough, this afternoon she called, said, yep, let's go ahead, really excited, and it's done. So I already knew it was done because I'd already played it out in my head and felt what it was going to feel like when she called me and said, I just want to be part of this. I knew it was happening. So when you get good at it, and the only way you get good at it, like me, doing it repetitively over and over and over and over again, and believing it with every fibre of your being every time you do it. It's very powerful. When you do this, what happens is, as well, your shoulders roll back, you walk taller, and you speak more confidently. You speak like someone who's coming out of the darkness, and I promise you, people want to be around someone like that. I travelled a lot. I was in 3 states last week, as I mentioned, and everywhere I went, even though I did so many plane flights and I was, travelling here and there, and I was speaking and I had events and I had blah, 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 everybody that I came in contact with said, oh my God, you're just so inspiring. You've got so much energy. Now, I should have been exhausted, yet I wasn't, because I was doing what I love to do, and people feel that. So when you'll know yourself, when you've had an amazing day and things have gone really well, you go and meet someone, they would say to you, wow, God, you've just got this great energy around you. What's going on? They feel it. And they feel it when you're negative, but they feel it when you're positive. So it changes the way we speak, because then when we speak from a bit of a place of hope. So the small wins also not only equal bigger wins when you add them all up, but they also attract big wins. And that's using that same energy technique and call out that I just taught you. Also want you to try and track, and it'll take maybe a few days or weeks for this to actually work for you. So it's something that you need to practice every day. I haven't added it to the home play, but can you write it down on your sheet of paper, because I forgot to add it there. I want you to start to remember the thoughts that come to your mind when you first wake up. Now, this is your first waking thought before you open your eyes. So it's something that's happening still kind of in the subconscious. Your alarm may have gone off, or you kind of know that it's time to get up, because our brains know when we've set the alarm. And you'll start to think of thoughts. I want you to monitor those thoughts. And if possible, start to implant in those thoughts before your eyes are open the day that you're about to have. So again, I've done this for a long time now. When I first started, it was difficult, but now I do it automatically. So before my eyes open, I've already told myself the amazing day I'm going to have, and now I'm really specific. So I kind of wake up without my eyes open still, and I've already told myself that this is going to play out this way, and the webinar tonight was going to go this way, and I already knew what I was going to put in the webinar for tonight to help you guys. I felt it, and I knew that there were going to be massive shifts on the webinar tonight. I knew that this thing was going ahead this afternoon. I'd already sort of played it out in my head. Change the way you think changes the outcome for your whole day, and it also sets your tone. Another little tip that I do is when I get out of bed, before my feet touch the ground, I say a little thing like, today is going to be one of the best days of my life so far. And then I let both feet touch the ground together, like it anchors that thought, and then I spring out of bed. So again, little things, but write them down, because I forgot to put them in home play, but do them. You've got nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain by just trusting me, and do these little things, and they do work, and you get addicted to them, and they're fun. And that really monitors your first waking thought. I want to talk to you about really quickly an example. Gosh, I'm really rattling on tonight. I've got so much to go through, but just really quickly, I want to talk to you about Natalie Cook and Courik Ashley, who's a friend of mine. Some of you may know Courik used to be Natalie Cook's mentor. Now, when I talked to him about what was the key, like he's not an athlete by any means, that's not his sport that he taught her about. And he said it wasn't relevant that I knew the rules of the game. That's not what she needed. What she needed was the mindset to help her get across the line and to become a gold medalist. So he did not mentor her based on the rules of the game. She had another coach for that. What she engaged Courik Ashley for was to help her get her mindset right. So he said, well, there's a number of things you need to do. You need to perceive and believe that you have already won the gold medal. And this was like 3 years before the Olympics. And he used to teach her strategies like when you go and meet someone tomorrow at an event that you're speaking at or anywhere, you introduce yourself as, hi, I'm Natalie Cook, gold medalist for Australia. And this was a few years before the Olympics. And she would say, my God, that's ridiculous. People will say the Olympics haven't even come yet. But she did it anyway and trusted him. He said, you need to go and buy a beautiful cabinet to put your gold medal in and put other medals that you've won around it, but leave a space in the middle with a beautiful stand for the gold medal that you're going to win. So you're creating space for it in your life. I could go on and on and on about the strategies, but essentially he said, buy everything gold. Make your screensaver gold, get a gold pen. Everything around you is gold. The only colour she was attracting into her life was gold. So it's no wonder that she went on to win that gold medal, but so many after that. And that all comes from the strategy and the belief is that visualization and what you believe becomes your reality. So there's famous people like that you can look up and read exactly how they've done it. And then, of course, taking on board what I did to a smaller scale, still the same principle. So, oh, how pretty is that picture? Picture yourself laying in the fresh grass and having that smile and the wide arms in a beautiful kind of environment, and you're just at one with nature, you're at one with the universe. They've delivered everything you've asked for. And look at the look on her face. Everything is in flow. She's calm, she's relaxed, she's not stressed. Her life is bliss. And you can all have that just by being really strong and focused on your visualization. Everything that you're getting in your life right now, I hate to say, but good, bad, and otherwise, is because of the visual pictures in your head and what you're putting energy into. The good news is you can shift it just by the click of a flick of a switch. In this moment right now, you can just shift that thought by changing what you're visualizing, put things on your vision board and your belief systems. Reward yourself along the way, even if it's small. Like I said, a cup of coffee and a muffin at a coffee club, doesn't matter what it is. Reward yourself. Your goals, everybody, I really hope by now have set your goals, be it weekly goals, monthly goals, quarterly goals, annual goals, whatever. But you've set your goals, and more importantly, you've said, when I achieve this, here is my reward. Because if the goals aren't linked to rewards, as human beings, we typically don't really go after achieving them. What gets rewarded gets repeated. That goes for yourself. And if you have team members or staff, same thing. If you reward them, they will do it again, because what gets rewarded gets repeated. Human beings love to be rewarded for action. So you need to also find out what inspires you. And visualization processes can also be done sitting at your computer by closing your eyes. Remember that our brain is extremely powerful. You don't need scenery around you. If you don't have a view from where you're sitting, you can just close your eyes and picture it. Picture yourself standing in front of an auditorium of 30,000 people and you are presenting, and they've all got signs up saying that you've changed their life. And without them, without you, they wouldn't be where they are, and they're thanking you and they're saying they love you. And you can make all of that real, and you can picture it till you get covered in goosebumps, because you know that that's a reality for you now. And then your brain will actively find ways to bring people into your life and opportunities so that that visualization becomes a realization. So again, you can do it with your eyes closed. You don't need anything around you. We manifest, as I mentioned, everything into our lives. So just if there's things in your life right now that you maybe don't want, bad clients, clients that don't pay, clients that are whinging, not enough business, think about what you're thinking about all the time. What are your waking thoughts? What are your daily thoughts? What's around you that you're manifesting? And change that, and you just watch things shift for you. Of course, I'm still talking about my why, because it's, again, been reminded in the last week when I've met more business owners and heard why they do what they do. The ones that are struggling, when I talk to them later and we have a private conversation, the reason they're struggling is they don't know the answer when I ask them why they do what they do. So there's a direct link that I'm finding now, and being more confirmed about why it's important when I hear people at Y Network stand up and say, I don't really know this is my why, or I think this is my why. When I talk to them and I find out what challenges they're facing in their business, it's a direct link, because they don't know why they're doing it. Their customers don't know why they're doing it, and therefore it doesn't work. There is no flow, there is no abundant mentality, there's no inspiration, there's no commitment to the cause, there's nothing. And that's why their businesses are struggling. And I've seen the shifts in the people who went through the first Y weekend. So without a clear goal, really, what are you focused on? It's so important to have that in front of you. Look, guys, the Y weekend is literally this weekend, 1st and 2nd of November. I have 2 places left. Now, I have never, ever, ever, ever offered a discount, because the workshop is only $5.97 anyway. So for 2 days of my time going through all the why on the Saturday, you literally come out of the Saturday night knowing exactly why you're here, what your genius zone is, what your purpose in life is. You will be crying because you're that excited. And you can talk to any of the participants who were at the August one, and they will tell you the same thing. And this Sunday, we go through all the how strategies. Now, as I said, it's normally $5.97, and I have never offered it. But because you guys have been committed to me on this road trip for Broke to BMW, I would like to offer you a special. So instead of $5.97, only for 2 people, it's a 2-for-1 deal. So it works out at $297 each. And that's only 2 places. So if anyone is interested in that, it is this weekend. You don't have to stay on site. Some people are driving themselves back to Brisbane in the evening. I've got someone who's jumping on a plane from New Zealand to come over for the weekend. Someone else is coming up from New South Wales. So people are really realising that this is a thing for them, and they're just moving mountains to get here. But just for you, and please don't share this with anyone else. And for some of you that have already been to the weekend, I apologise, but I just really want to make sure that I'm delivering as much as I can for you guys. So if anyone's keen to jump on this, there are only those 2 places at half price. You need to go to Find My Why, and that's my why, so letter Y, findmywhy.com.au, and you need to you get to the part that says the code, what you need to do is put this code in, which I'm going to type in the chat box, and the code is 241B2B, and that will enable you to book it at half price. But again, 2 places. Once they're gone, they're gone. And it's only because I really want to help you guys that are struggling get connected to your why, because it will massively help move your business forward. So anyway, that's enough about that. So now, month 8, as I mentioned, the theme of this whole webinar today is small wins. So what I want you guys to do is look at what's achievable for you right now. Look at the big picture, of course, of what you want to achieve overall. But what I want you to do is break it down into small bite-sized pieces. And in those bite-sized pieces, I want you to look at what's the next step that you have to achieve to finally achieve the bigger picture. Because we can't eat an elephant in one bite. We need to eat bite by bite. But eventually, when we keep doing the small things, we've eaten the elephant. So look at what's achievable right now. It could be just one thing that you need to achieve tomorrow. It could be one thing that needs to get achieved in the next month. But that will enable you to say, right, if I can do this in the next period of time, what's something that you can do and write down, and then what's a small reward that you can attach to that. And I want you to try and do that with the time frame that we've got left between now and the end of the year. One thing that concerns me with some people that I've been watching what's going on is that you're still trying to look at the really big picture and not break it down into small bite-sized pieces. And the danger you do of doing that is you're constantly going to feel like you're not getting ahead. So I can't change the past, but what I want to encourage you to do is break down the goal and break it into bite-sized pieces between now and what you want to achieve by midnight New Year's Eve. And then look at attaching your small rewards to it and achieving them. And when you achieve them, remember to look in the mirror and celebrate. Well done, Shah, you did this today, or you moved this forward, or whatever it was. I want you to also look at who's supporting you, because month 8 for me was a critical time where I could have easily slipped back and not gone forward. But because I supported myself with the right mentors around me, and again, remember, I had no money to allocate on mentors, but I still surrounded myself with mentors. So I was still able to find people who had been on the journey somehow or something similar and ask them for support. So just look at who's supporting you. And if you look closely at the 6 last people you talked to, make sure that every one of those people are people either at the same level or a couple of steps ahead of you. If they're not, maybe look at changing some of those people out for different people. And again, if you don't ask, you don't get. So if there's someone out there in the world that you know will help you move forward, ask them to help you. Ask them to give you a bit of guidance, or ask them to be there for you when you need an ear to lean on. Who's leading you? I found a way during my journey to pay for a mentor towards the end of my journey, because I realized that for me to get out of this and achieve what I wanted to achieve, I needed to find the money. And it's amazing when you commit to someone that you know is going to really help move you forward. It's amazing how you can find the money to allocate to it. So look at who's leading you and make sure that they are and have the life and the business that you want, or certainly are well on the way to wanting, and attach yourself to them as well. Time management. Look, if I had $1 for every time someone said, oh, Shah, there's all these things I need to do in my business, but I don't have the time. Guess what, guys? We're all the same. You know, I could say the same thing, but saying it's not going to change anything. And everybody on the planet would love more time, but we all have the same amount of hours. Yet there's some people out there who make massive inroads to their businesses, and they have the same allocation of time that we do. So how are they doing it? So you're not always going to find time to do everything, but what you need to do is make sure you're prioritizing the things on your to-do list by just simply writing everything out and doing a brain dump, getting everything out of your head onto a sheet of paper, and then writing down next to all the things that have to get done and numbering them 1 to 3. 1 is a priority, high priority item that must get done before you leave the office at the end of the day. Number 2 is something that gets done if all the number 1s are done. And number 3 kind of, you know, is not as urgent. If you get it done, great. If you don't, never mind. And start prioritizing your list like that, and try not to let yourself get distracted. I've taken you guys through the Pomodoro time management exercise. If you're new on the webinar tonight, just look it up, Pomodoro. I think it's called Pomodoro Time Management, actually, but there's an app that you can get on your computer or on your phone, and it gives you a timer. So it's kind of like an oven timer. It gives you a short burst of 25 minutes to achieve something, and then it gets you to stop for a couple of minutes and refresh, get up, walk around, go to the toilet, whatever, come back. And it allows you to focus on one task. So it also keeps you very, very disciplined, because when you try and multitask, it's been proven many times that you don't do anything well. So doing one task in one burst of 25 minutes will get you a lot done in a day than trying to do 4 or 5 things at once. And remember, my favorite strategy, which I do all the time, and I just outsourced something else today, is your wax and flame analogy. Picture the really tall candle. The flame at the top is about 10% of the whole candle. All the rest is wax. Anything that makes you feel stuck, sticky, or bogged down is wax items, and everything that is wax in your life, you must outsource. You can go onto Odesk, Freelancer, Elance, any of those platforms for outsourced staff. You can find people here in Australia, of course. You may know people that can help you. You can get interns. You can get college students wanting some extra money that are top of their class and probably know 10 times more than you. Find somebody to help you. There's another website called Craig's List, and it's a website for people, a lot of college students as well, looking for odd jobs to do, and they'll just do something for you for not a lot of money. And again, because it's their flame, they're going to do it much faster than you ever will. And you know what? We've been through a lot on this ride, and I'm quite proud of all you guys for still being here. And again, not everyone can join the webinar live, but I know there's still a good number of you that are still on the bus. And we've been through a lot, and I've allowed you for quite so many months to kind of still have your lower moments and you know, have your tears and your emotions and your breakdowns, and I've kind of allowed it. But I think now it's time to bounce back. I think it's time that we can kind of put that behind us now and realise that if we keep going back to that place, we're really not going to bounce up as high as we want to. So I want to encourage you all to stop taking yourself to that place and having those breakdowns. I moved through them about now in my journey, and I sort of went, well, they're not serving me. They're not serving me, so they're probably not serving anyone else either. So why don't I just kind of stop it and bounce back? The old saying goes that if you stand up right now or after this webinar, if you stand up straight and tall and try and jump, you won't jump very high. But if you crouch right down to the ground and support yourself with your fingers on the ground and your knees are completely bent and your back's bent, and if you crouch right down as low as you can go, you will bounce and jump so much higher than if you're standing tall. So when we're at our lowest, we sometimes feel that, well, I'm at my lowest, you know, there's no way I can bounce up. But in fact, you can actually bounce much higher because you're at your lowest point. So if you feel you're at your lowest point right now, that's a great place to be, because you can springboard much higher, and you can typically jump higher than people who are standing tall right now. But it's just time to bounce back. I think it's time to stop wallowing. If you are wallowing, have moments of it now. Don't let the moments last so long. If you have breakdowns, snap yourself out of it within a few seconds or minutes, or pick yourself up or call someone else on the bus and say, I'm having one of those moments. Shah said I need to pick the phone up and call you, and they'll say, yes, you need to bounce back out of it, snap out of it. You're amazing, you're great. Be there for each other and help yourself bounce much higher. It's always better when there's someone around you to help you. My tips for the month are keep pedaling. You know, when you're going up a hill on a bike and you stop pedaling, guess where you go? Backwards. And if any of you have done this, you'll know exactly what it feels like, because I'm terrible on hills on a bike. I only ride my bike where it's flat. But it's the same in life. If we are going uphill, we know that the top of the hill and the gorgeous view and our amazing life, and the downhill is just up above the rise. But if we stop pedaling, we go backwards. So just keep pedaling. It's like Dory on Nemo, Finding Nemo. If any of you have got kids and you watched it 500 million times like it was playing in my house, you'll remember the song that Dory sang is just keep swimming, just keep swimming. It's the same thing. If you keep swimming, keep pedaling, keep doing, guess what you're going to get? Further ahead than you are right now. And the downhill is about to come into your life. The beautiful flow, all the wonderful things that you're waiting for, you know, wind in your hair, sun on your face kind of moment, it's all waiting for you. Keep asking. Keep asking what you need. Keep asking what you need from people around you, from people you don't know, from people you've known for so long. If they've got something that you think can help, keep asking. Keep questioning everything. Why is this happening? What can I do about it? How can I move this forward? The more that we do that, remember, You have all the answers you need right now to move yourself forward. Every one of them is within you right now. All I'm doing is providing a mirror and probing some of those things that may have been shut down in your body for a while because you shut them down because you maybe weren't getting the results you wanted, so you stopped listening to them. You have all your own answers. So keep questioning yourself. Okay, this has happened. What can I do about it? Who could I call? And when you ask the questions, please sit still and listen to the answer. Because when you say, who should I call about this, someone's name will pop into your mind, or an email will come in from them, or you'll see something on Facebook and you go, that's who I need to call. Don't doubt that that happened at the time you asked it. It's exactly who you need to move you forward. Start trusting it. Keep challenging yourself. How much further can I do? Can I make one more phone call? Can I sell a little bit more today? Can I upsell this? Can I do that? Keep challenging yourself, because when you keep pushing your own boundaries, your boundaries change and they grow bigger. Keep believing in yourself. Don't underestimate the power you have in your own mind. You are amazing. The fact that you're still here after month 8 is testament to you believe there's something out there for you and you know you can get it. And keep dreaming. Keep dreaming the big dreams. You know, picture yourself on a current affair sunrise, Studio 10. Picture yourself in an auditorium if you want to be, you know, an impactful, inspirational speaker. Keep dreaming and believing that you can be in BRW's fastest growing company list. Keep believing all of that stuff. The biggest entrepreneurs and best entrepreneurs I've met have used all of these strategies, and I just had the pleasure of having a 20-minute one-on-one session on the weekend with an amazing entrepreneur from America who's well into his 60s, probably early 70s now. I wasn't game enough to ask him, but he gave me 20 minutes of his time one-on-one, and he's a person that has acquired over 3,000 businesses in his time. And the first one he acquired at the age of 21. He had no business experience, high school dropout, had no money in the bank. Yet he acquired a business worth $500,000, which in today's market would be $5 million. He bought that company. He believed it, he dreamed it, he challenged himself, he kept questioning what was going on, he kept asking what to do, and he kept pedaling. And he's now acquired over 3,000 companies in his time, and now he mentors other people to do the same thing through acquisition. So keep on keeping on. You have the same skills, the same opportunities and same possibilities that he had, that I have, that other successful entrepreneurs have. You just need to believe it. I believe in you. Otherwise, I would not give up my time for an hour a month to pour my heart out and teach you some of the tips and strategies that I use for some of my top clients. I wouldn't do it unless I believed that you could do it. So your home play, I love my little cute picture. It's a great reminder every month that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So look at your goals. Your home play is to look at your goals, write your goals down that you want to achieve your bigger goal by New Year's Eve. And I hope you all text me at New Year's Eve. And if you don't have my mobile number, let me know and I'll give it to you. I hope you all text me New Year's Eve to let me know, wow, Shara, I achieved my goal because I broke it down into small steps and I rewarded myself along the way. Do you know what, guys? That would just be the most amazing experience for me. And I've visualized getting these messages, by the way, because I've used visualization for everything that I do. And I've visualized getting these messages leading up to New Year's Eve and just standing there at my friends. We're going to a beautiful party with my family and friends, and I'm getting these messages through on my phone and I'm covered in goosebumps, and I'm sharing the story of, oh, wow, so-and-so, you know, one of my clients that's on my webinar just got this result, and it, you know, I'm really proud of her or him. And I've visualized getting these messages through, knowing that you have achieved what you wanted to achieve, and I take no credit in that, but I take a little bit of joy to know that I've been able to guide you a little bit along the way and make you realize how magnificent you are and that everything is possible if you believe it is. So please, 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 please use visualization in your business in every step along the way. Use it. And I can't encourage you enough to ask. Ask me, ask someone else on the bus, ask anybody that you know that could help you. Please ask, because it will be the most amazing thing you do when you get the answers back. So I hope that's been great. For those that don't have a copy of my book, please get it. You know, grab the book, because it's a great workbook as well, to keep you focused. There's lots of places for you to write. There's obviously a lot more in the book than I can fit on the webinar. So grab yourself a copy as well. And any questions, I'll see you over on the group page really quickly to answer them. And always the webinars are the last Monday of the month. So 24th of November is the next webinar. Good luck, guys, and I look forward to reading and hearing all of your updates. And keep pedaling and stay focused, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.